Hey, how's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Sinister of the Gamer section, bringing you another interview with a dev. Before introduce our guests, if you enjoy our content, be sure to leave us a like, subscribe, things like that. But with that being said, go ahead and let our guest introduce himself.
Hi there, guys. I'm Mario Vallarta. I'm the co-founder of a Mexican studio that's called Dracma Studios. We're currently developing a game called KANO, which is set to release later this spring, the spring of this year. So it's just months away now.
Okay, okay. All right. Well, first things first. Let's start from the beginning. It's what got you into gaming?
That takes me way back. Do you mean gaming? It's like
Like,
when I was started playing, or
yeah, like when you're young, like when you started out, like anything that influenced you.
yeah, well, basically, I had an uncle that's like just like 8 years. He's 8 years older than me, so he
Mhm.
was pretty young when I was born,
Right,
and there's not much of an age difference, right?
right.
So he started playing like these games. He had a SNES, and he had also a Nintendo 64, and pretty early on, I saw all of these amazing games that he was playing. I remember him playing like Super Mario, Star Fox, Zelda, and stuff like that. And I was just fascinated by that. And it is, like a little kid that
Right.
you show him like flashy things, colorful stuff, and it's like, yeah, I want to play that, and with like the happy music and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you have like any favorite games growing up? Like,
Yeah, growing up, I had Legend of Zelda has always been one of my favorites. I'm actually waiting I'm very very excited for Tears of the Kingdom. That I think it's going to be great.
well, 3 months away.
Yeah, yeah, 3 months away, and yeah, I'm looking. I'm very eager to check that game out. I also growing up in my teens and stuff like that, Assassin's Creed was one of my favorite games also.
Okay.
And there were some indies there, here and there, like Super Meat Boy, Fez, stuff like that I really liked.
Well, okay. Cool, cool. About your studio, Dracma, how did the name come about? Did you come with it, or somebody else came up with it, or probably just a combination?
But I kind of came up with it, but it wasn't meant to be the name of the studio. Like, um we basically we were like friends in college, and there was like a group project that we needed to finish.
Right.
And at the time, I was actually playing Assassin's Creed Origins, and I remember like the currency was
Right.
drachma.
Okay.
And I just like made a little adjustment to it. I think it was like drachma with an H, so
Okay.
I took out the H and just like used it as the name of the group project for college.
Right.
And then when we graduated and we were starting like to do some new stuff, and we were at a dinner, we were we were having like a little friends reunion there.
Right.
And we were like, hey, let's let's make a game. What do you think? And I said, yeah, I'll jump at the opportunity, because at that time I was a little I was working for a marketing agency here in Yucatan.
Okay.
And I didn't really like that. And I was like, I didn't like my job that much, so I said, yeah, please, just like, if there's anything else that I could do that would make me feel like fulfilled and like, challenged,
Right.
I would take it. And that was how the studio was born. And we said, hey, like the name of the group was Drachma, so let's just like call the Drachma Studios, and that's how it was born. It's kind of a long story. Sorry, it took long
Okay.
to explain that.
Well, that's good. That's good. That's what we're here for. But basically, well, okay, your studio's been formed. It's how many people are working there other than yourself?
Oh, we are a bunch of people. We like the core team is probably, we have there's me. I do the like everything that is not related to making things like inside of the game. So I
Okay.
do like marketing, PR, um, you know marketing PR. If there's events, I usually go to do that stuff,
Okay.
like talking to lawyers, talking to accountants, and stuff like that.
Right.
I do that. I also started out as the animator on the project, and I just like a year ago I became the director of the animation team. And
Okay.
if
Cool.
there's animations that need to, like, someone needs to check them, I usually do that. There's Hector Parra. He's the other co-founder of Dracma Studios. He's the
Okay.
producer, so he's in charge of everything that has to do like inside the game, and he
Okay.
uh, coordinates everyone so that we are focused on getting things done in time. There's the programmers there also. Right now, Albert and Rodrigo, they are working on the programming side. Hugo Laviada, which is our creative director.
Okay.
We have also, a lot of people over time that have helped us as well with environments. There's Memo, he's from Guadalajara.
Uh-huh.
Um, who else? The composer Derek Hinojosa. He is from Tampico. He's been helping us as well. Um, the modelers, the text, like the texturizers, the rigging person there. It's we're a lot of people. We're like right now we're like 8 people in the team that are
Oh, that's
working together. But there's been a lot of people also coming in and doing some work, and then and checking out for a little while, and then they come back. And yeah, it's kind of a group project.
yeah. It's kind of cool. Like like I said, like you bring all these people in. Everybody is bringing their strengths in what certain areas or things like
Yeah.
that. But to get on to candle night, how did that idea come about? Like, did you come up with the idea, or did somebody else did?
It was actually an idea that I actually forgot to mention our art director, which is
Okay.
Carlos Basto,
Okay.
and Grace Wilkins is the other person that works in the art department there.
Okay.
Carlos Basto and Hector Parra, my producer, they both started having, like, they made a lot of little concepts for games when we
Okay.
were back in college. I wasn't included in that team at that time, but they started coming up with these ideas, and one of those ideas was actually candlelight. And they wanted to, like, a little knight that had a candle on the top of his head, and if the light went out, like if a little flame
Hmm.
was like blown off, or if it just stopped being lit,
Hmm.
then the candle would basically perish.
Hmm.
And yeah, that we fleshed out the idea, and right now, that was an idea that was born, I think, in 2016 or 2017, something
Okay.
like that. We took it again in 2019 when the studio was founded, and we said, let's make this a full game. And that's where we are now, 3 years and a half later.
Okay. Yay! Shout out to the honest gamer, and he has a question for you. He's saying, what games did you create before Candle Night?
What games did I create before Candlelight? That's actually well, none that had released. I have worked in little games before, and like college projects and such. There was one which was called like Terror, like Horror Night, or something like that, like horror story. It was called
Okay.
something like that, and it was basically like a top-down shooter. And you had like enemies that were coming from all sides, and you had to shoot them. And it was basically, yeah, it's a top-down shooter. It was very different. And but for that, what I did was actually 3D art. So I modeled some props for the game, and I just put them there. I didn't texturize it or anything. And I also did a little voice acting, but that was it. I didn't do that much. And I didn't do like the things that I do now, which is animation and
Yeah.
marketing and all that stuff. Thanks for your
Okay.
question,
Cool. Cool.
actually.
Yeah. Shout out to the honest gamer. But back to Candle Night. Okay. What's the plot of it without giving too much away?
What's the plot of it? Well, basically, it's a very simple idea. There's this little candle that lives in like an enchanted castle that is in ruins now. And Candle Knight considers the castle its home, so he wants to light up the castle and bring back its old glory, light it up a little bit, because darkness has taken over the castle, and he wants to, everything felt more alive in like some while ago in the game, and he wants to bring back that life, that light that the castle had before its downfall.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I was able to before the interview, I was able to watch the trailer of it and like,
Oh,
and
nice.
I, yeah, because I was seeing it like playing. It's like okay, it's like yeah, I see a little Metrovania, that's involved, like him platforming, going, jumping up to platforms and attacking this and things letting up. Oh, what did you use to develop the game?
We're using Unreal Engine 4. We actually, when Unreal Engine 5 came out, we were like, man, this would have been great for the game because of the lighting and all. There's a lot of
Right,
new stuff that's out there. But yeah, we kept it on Unreal Engine 4, because if we like try to port it to the Unreal Engine 5, there would be a lot of processing involved, and we would take longer to develop it. So we
right.
chose to just stay in 4, Unreal Engine 4. The version is like Unreal Engine 4.26, and there's a point and other numbers, but I
Right.
don't remember those numbers.
Okay. Um, as far as that go, what about let's see, the presentation? Are there going to be any like cutscenes or anything about
Yeah,
probably like expanding the story? As you
yeah.
play on.
Yeah, we're actually working on implementing some of those cutscenes into the game. The cutscenes were actually one of the last things that we've been working on with Candlelight. We've had some cutscenes done in the past, which you can actually see in the trailer. We have two trailers that have come out from Candlelight, and there's another one that's coming up rather soon.
Okay.
But the first one had like a little cutscene, which there's a little fight between Candle Knight and like a giant bookworm. The name of the boss is called Bookworm, and you can see them like clash at the end of that trailer. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
And a local studio here in Yucatan helped us make that cutscene. And also we did we have a little more of those cutscenes in the second
Right.
trailer, when you can see that there's a scene which Candlelight is like jumping, and then he meets with like a little boss, and he dodges one of his attacks, and
Okay.
that's another cutscene that we have implemented into the game,
Okay.
and we are working right now on three more, yeah, to
Okay.
implement.
Okay. I do have one question about I'm gonna save that one. The honest gamer, he has another one that says,
Yeah.
what type of engines that you like to use when creating games and why?
What type of engines? Well, we use Unreal Engine 4. I have used Unity in the past. Actually, the other game that I was talking about, Horror Story, was made in Unity. Sorry, we used Unity to develop it. It was good. I actually have a little um, like programming experience. It's very
Yeah.
minor, but I
Right.
have a little programming experience in Unity. As for Unreal, I don't have that much. I usually am in charge only of the animation stuff that we do inside the game. So I'm a little familiar with how you manage like the state machine of Candlelight and all the animations that he has. I'm kind of familiar with that, but I'm
Right.
not so familiar with the programming side.
Right.
But we're using Unreal because we think it's a very powerful tool to use.
Right.
It's very it's it
More advanced or
we
something like that.
can it's kind of a match there.
Right.
It's pretty like a tight competition there,
Right.
but we like the look of Unreal games, and we think that with Unreal we can achieve like um, a bigger like a higher
Right.
level of fidelity. I don't know how
Oh,
that is said. I'm sorry.
fidelity. No,
Yeah,
no, you're good.
yeah. We wanted to reach a like certain level of realism. We really
Okay.
like how lights look on Unreal. You can achieve those things also in Unity,
Right.
but we like the distinctive look of Unreal game. We think it's pretty cool. There's a lot of indie games like here in Mexico, like 80% of or like 90% of studios here in Mexico actually use Unity. So
Okay.
we're kind of like the few ones that use Unreal, and
Right.
we actually have been we're kind of in a good relationship with Epic. They
Okay.
we applied for the Epic Mega Grants program, in which
Okay.
they reward developers for using their engine, and if they see something that they like, they can give you like some financial support for the game, right?
No, that's
And
awesome.
they did that for us in back in January of 2022, like a year ago.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, that was amazing for us. That really helped us. That boosted our like our presence here in
Mhm.
Mexico. Some people took notice of that. We were on the papers like locally here in Yucatan. And
That's awesome.
yeah, it's been pretty cool. And we're actually going to GDC this year, and we are going to be you know meeting the people there and people in the Unreal booth, and we have a good relationship with them. If there's like, if we have questions about the engine or something like that, they help us. It's kind of a we just send them an email and like tell them, hey guys, we're having trouble with this. Do you have any tips? And
Right.
they usually tell us, hey, this guy can help you. And we go through with them with our problems, and he tells us like, you can do this and do that. And yeah, it's been pretty cool to have that support from Epic Games, which is like a
Yeah.
huge company. Yeah, they're
That,
pretty
that,
friendly. That's something that's been really cool for us.
it's always cool, like to build those build those relationships and stuff like that that can help you out. But
Yeah.
yeah, because like what I was meaning to say, like from what I got from the trailer, I mean, for the night itself, it kind of remind me some of like our Arthur from Ghosts and Goblins. Of course, you can see his face, and of course, like seeing the levels is like mixed in what Metrovania with Ghosts and Goblins and things like
Yeah.
that. But of course, Honest Scan is another. It said, "What is the inspiration behind the name Candle Night?"
The inspiration is basically, we wanted to keep it like a little simple.
Uh-huh.
We also have some inspirations from games like Shovel Knight and Hollow
Right.
Knight, and we like the little formula that they have. It's just like
Mhm.
Hollow Knight, Shovel Knight, and that kind of
The night
explains.
themes. Yeah.
Yeah, it just kind of explains the theme of the game. Like, it's a little knight, use a sword, use a shield, stuff like that. So like, just to keep it simple, we
Right.
just named it Candlelight. It just made sense for us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, from what I also get with it, like I said, probably an honorable mention. Throw Arthur from the Ghost and Goblins series in there because even without him, like those other knights would never existed.
Yes.
Okay. About the gameplay, like, explain what the gameplay is going to be about.
Well, the gameplay basically has it's kind of four main pillars of the game.
Hmm.
So there's like combat that you do with like sword and shield. You
Hmm.
can block, you can attack. You have like little combos. You can attack in midair. You can use abilities that you gain through the game, like dash abilities. There's a flamberge, which is a thing which you grab your sword and you like plunge it into the ground, and then
Hmm.
fire comes out of like an area on the ground that looks pretty cool. Like the
Okay.
effects team did a really good job on that.
Well, cool. Cool.
Um, there's also the platforming part of the game, in which you go through the game and traverse different platforming sections while you are traversing different places. So there's challenging platforming sections as well, and there's puzzles that you
Right.
can solve inside of the world of the like sorry, inside of the castle
Uh-huh.
that's in Candlelight's world, and you can solve different puzzles
Oh. Well. Oh. Sorry, everyone. I was dealing with a little technical difficulties here. I think it's coming down from his end. Hopefully, we can get resolved here soon. So hopefully, he was able to come back. We can continue on. I'm just making sure the internet is good on my side. I don't know how it is down there, but I hope it can get resolved soon. Oh, hopefully, she'll be back in. But other than that, like I said, after seeing the trailer, it kind of get that vibe from Ghosts and Goblins and mixing it with much Metrovania. Get to jump around, attack enemies, solve puzzles, things like that. So hopefully we can get them back in here. Oh, there he is.
Hey guys,
All
great.
right.
I lost power for a little bit, but it's back now.
Okay.
I was talking about like the pillars of the game. Uh,
Okay.
I was telling you that there was also like the puzzle sections of the game, which you can
Okay.
solve different puzzles inside of the castle to access new areas or get some new abilities and stuff like that. There's also like paintings in the world in which you can enter, and there's also some puzzles inside of those paintings you
Uh-huh.
can solve to change the world around you or get to a new area or stuff like that. And I think we have also the boss fights, which are
Right.
part of the combat as well, and we have a dynamic difficulty system which you get to choose how you play. It's kind of like we try to implement a system that was kind of a high risk high reward kind of system, in which if you start getting like more aggressive, you like your flame burns brighter and you attack, and your attack goes up but your defense goes a little down, so
Uh-huh.
you receive more damage but you deal more damage and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a finding the right balance there for players to actually go through the game, beat the bosses, beat the enemies, and
Mhm.
go through platforming sections. What is it like the benefit of
Okay.
getting into higher ignition states and being faster, being more aggressive, and being doing more damage and stuff like that, right?
Wow. Yeah, guys, I was gonna ask about the like the challenges. Like Arcade like comes with the difficulties, which you explained. So basically, you're not gonna get like your default a easy, normal, or hard. So basically, you just go in. It just depends on your play style. So
Yeah,
so
basically.
it's like a little elements like Dark Souls, something like that in there, kind of challenge in there.
Yeah, you can basically decide which, like how hard is it going to be for me like playing this game. And if you stay in like if you're very aggressive and if you keep playing like I'm gonna defeat all the enemies and stuff like that, you can go and play the game like really aggressively, and it will be a little more difficult to you if
Yeah,
instead of you being more patient.
right. All right. I explained it because I mean, also I was getting like from your website, like I don't know, it was supposed to be slated to release last year, but what was the reason behind the delay?
Oh well, we basically, indie development is kind of a like a roller coaster here.
Uh,
So we tried to release it last year, basically into early access. So that was the plan to have a release on 2022. But then we kind of thought we might just like might as well just like release it fully and wait like another 8 months, and
mhm,
we can get like a little more like audience and people like following the game. So let's wait a little more for that, and
right.
that's what we did. And well, the game is now basically is like virtually complete, is almost complete now. We only need to add some things like the cutscenes I was telling you earlier.
Okay. Okay.
We need to implement into the game, but like the content is basically like virtually finished.
Okay.
We just need to do a lot of testing because we need to kill a lot of bugs,
Right.
and we're a small team, so we need to do a lot of work in that regard. It was planned to release. We had a release date in January 20, but we said like let's take like 3 months and polish the game, put some like cutscenes and stuff like that into the game so that it will feel more like a more immersive experience.
Okay.
That was a delay basically.
Okay. Hey, how's it going, Sonic Ring? Yeah, we're doing fine over here. That's one thing I also wanted to ask was the audio. Like, yeah, it's like with the music, with being medieval, it's like a the person who handles the audio is like, are they like gonna get like medieval kind of music or uh, what kind of like music you plan on using?
Basically we wanted to help players feel the vibes of the different levels of the different sections of the game, and we wanted them to like differentiate them
Okay,
with different themes of music. So there's some we use, and well, our composer could actually tell you a little more about this, right? But
right.
we use some percussions, some drums inside of the
Okay,
tracks. We use some piano for some of the themes, and some wind instruments as well. And yeah, we basically it's kind of like a uh, it's not like a depressing kind of music, but it's
okay,
kind of mellow. It's kind of like you can feel like nostalgic, and we
mm,
wanted to go for that vibe basically for the castle, because it's basically the emotion that Candlelight is feeling when Candlelight sees its home
right.
in ruins, and he just wants to be the one that brings back the life to it,
Okay.
basically. Yeah.
Hey, how's it going, Rosanna? Okay, the chat is lit up. Oh, yeah, because like when it comes to the music, it kind of I get that Castlevania vibe because like, usually like when you counter the boss, you hear like the aggressiveness of the music of the drums or guitars, things like that, and
Yeah.
of course you get that soft melody music like when you're not in combat, like exploring, especially like the cutscenes explaining the story, depending on what the mood that is, which is really cool. But another thing, what platform you were releasing this game on?
We're going to release on PC,
Okay,
and then we want to port it to consoles, but it's going to take a little while to get there. So
okay,
we're focusing mainly right now on the PC version of the game, and if everything goes well, and and if Candlelight does well at launch and stuff like that, we can start porting it to other consoles as we go further into development of these, porting the game to, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, hopefully, and PlayStation 2.
okay. Yeah, doing fine, Rosanna. The game he's talking about is Candle Knight. It's coming out for PC,
Yeah,
but
you can
hopefully,
you can go to the Steam page and wishlist it. Yeah, that would be like a huge favor for me.
yeah. Oh yeah, because like a lot of past interviews, like let's say Steam's like the king of like helping like uh, indie devs like yourselves, like getting their games out there and putting the wish list. Yeah. When did you first approach Steam like to put your game on the wish list?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear that.
Oh, when did you first approach Steam like just to release your game on?
What is it like the first approach? I
I
don't
mean,
know.
like when you first approached Steam, like to release the game on Steam. Like, oh, that's what I was getting at.
Oh, so how well, we basically a year ago, in back in March, we said, let's just make like a Steam page for the game, and let's just start putting out trailers for the game and stuff like in social media, and have like a little trailer, and kind of marketing materials, just for people to know that we're making Candle Night, right?
Uh-huh.
So we had a Steam page that was launched the same day that we launched our first trailer. So that was the first day of March back in 2022. So we released that, and yeah, since then we've been pushing uh, people to go to the Steam page and actually wish list it, and tell their friends and or whatever, to wishlist it, and see what they can do. We actually have a demo up there. If you want, if anyone on the audience is looking forward to that, we have a demo
Okay.
that's up. You can go and play Candlelight, the demo of Candlelight right now,
Okay.
and yeah, we've been working hard on that. We were recently on the Steam Next Fest, and we
Okay.
updated the demo very recently. Yeah, like 2 weeks ago.
Okay. You heard it there, Sonic and Rosanna's like, y'all got the Steam Deck. There you go. Just try the demo and see how you like it.
It runs very well on Steam Deck. Just to put it out there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Um, as far as Canada goes, like, are you looking probably like March or April, or May, that time window to release Candle Night? Like probably like we knew those months.
We haven't decided yet on a date. We're actually discussing it like this week and the next week. We're looking. It's probably going to be around May or probably April. We're
Okay.
choosing a date that's there that suits us for the release of the game.
Well, that's cool because I mean I know you don't want to be in the competition like the big names and stuff like that.
Yeah, you don't want to release the same day as Tears of the Kingdom, right?
Well, yeah, because
Yeah.
yeah, definitely that because everybody knows May the 12th, so probably a week beforehand you want to get ahead on it
Yeah.
because like when Zelda drops, it's a wrap.
Yeah, basically.
But all right, let's say my next question is like say Candlenet does great on Steam. I think it's like do you plan on releasing like any expansions or basically you want to move up to a sequel if it depending on how successful it is.
Like DLC is something that we've considered in the past, and it's dependent. If everything goes well and the launch goes okay and we do well with the ports to Xbox, Switch, and all of that, then we will consider adding some DLC to the game, another new sections in which you can do like different stuff with fire and stuff like that would be kind of cool to have there. We have some concepts that didn't make it into the game because we're kind of like a small team,
Right.
and if we would have a little more time, or maybe a publisher, because we don't have a publisher,
Right.
that would have been like really cool to add some stuff. But since we're like a small indie team trying to make their first game, so yeah, it's basically just the time to have the demo, not the demo, sorry, the full game released,
Right.
and yeah, just put it out there, see if people like it, what's the reaction, what they think of the game, and stuff like that.
Okay. Oh yeah, then it brings me to my follow up question. Say like say you don't plan on doing like a continuation of Candle Night. Say like you want to move on probably to ideas for a different game. Will you consider continue using Unreal Engine 4 or are you gonna probably use Unreal Engine 5?
Yeah, we are really looking forward to using Unreal Engine 5 for our next games. We don't know if it's going to be like a Canonite sequel. We don't know. We haven't really like discussed that,
Right.
but there's a lot of ideas in the studio, some that have to do with Canonite, some that don't. So
Right.
we will just have to wait and see how it how we feel about it as a team. If we
Okay.
feel like it's something that we could do, and work in another kind of like game for like 2 or 3 years, something like that, like we
Okay.
could do that. But also some of the people want to like a fresh start, do something more colorful, something that is not as like as atmospheric, like kind of dark and gloomy, and do things that are more like I don't know, like have you seen, like, for example, Gurren Lagann? That's kind of like
Right.
like a lot of spectacle and lights and colors and stuff like that, kind of like that. There's people that want to do to like to go that way for another game,
Uh-huh.
but we'll have to wait and see, basically, and see how everything goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think that about does it. I mean, you answer all the basic questions. Like I said, I'm definitely looking forward to Canon Night when it's fully released. So I don't have a Steam Deck yet, but I mean, I do have Steam, so I don't mind playing it. When it's fully released, I was like, hey, like I was like, give it a try. It's like, yeah, it's like, yeah, see this game right there. I interviewed the person, one of the guys that worked on it.
Yeah,
So
sure. You can go check out the demo, play it for a little while, see if you like it,
right,
and leave us a wish list if you like that. That
yeah,
also helps.
all right. All right. That basically concludes this interview. Before we go, good, you want to go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you at?
Yeah, sure. I'm on Twitter. The studio is also. We also have a Twitter for the studio. We're basically at Dracma Studios. You can find it anywhere using that little name there. It's Dracma Studios, Dracma Studios, Studios. And yeah, we have a Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We have a TikTok also. We have a lot we're everywhere, like in every platform. I'm also you can find me as Mario,
Oh,
VDGC.
okay.
You can find me there. I have a Twitter, like an Instagram and stuff like that. If you want to follow me, that's fine. But I would encourage you to follow Dracma Studios for more news related to Candlelight if you like.
Yeah, already done that before we started, but all right. Yeah, like I say, shout out to Honest Gamer, Sonic Ring, Rosanna. Thank you for coming through.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, and as for me, this is your host, Sinister. You can follow me on my social medias. It's Konshu19 on Twitter. It's Sinister1019 on Instagram. And that concludes our show, y'all. And like I said, I hope y'all enjoy your day. Peace out.
Awesome. Thank you.